Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. I'm Luce, and tonight we're going to be in the Cruiserweight tier. We're going to be doing the Cruiserweight tier. Wow, I got a new mic and I'm already testing it out with tripping over my words. Oh, well, I guess that one's coming through just fine. I am very professional and always do this during the stream and not after like before. Alright, well, alright. And yes, I'm in my Expedition 33 themed outfit. I am especially happy because I've learned that the Sandfall Interactive, the people behind Expedition 33, do plan to make more in the franchise, but nothing beyond that. They don't even know if it's going to be a sequel in the same world or an anthology, like Final Fantasy itself, where they have some similar themes, but are otherwise disconnected stories. I look forward to it, but for now, we've got professional wrestling to go into. Souls Under Siege. Yana's fate's light. But the sight of you. Hey Coda, you're just the person I wanted to see. Cruiserweight matches are yet to begin, but Neune and I, have made some breakthroughs in our research about necrosis. Come inside, we'll tell you what we learned. Right. As a quick recap, we joined the Arcadion because the champion gets to determine one wish, and we intend to use that to release all the souls that are being used to fuel the fights here, since that's basically making it a blood sport, and our character is too much of a goody-goody to sit and let this stand. But also, I'm losing my train of thought here. Oh yeah. Yana's sister there was originally going to be a champion, but it turns out that the people who abuse the soul powers for this blood sport end up with a disease that kills them while they're still quite young, and she's in one of the late stages of it. She tried to defeat us to steal our soul to restore hers, but it seems we were able to stop her, because obviously I'm still here, so... But the others decided to do some research to see if they can try and find a cure for it. So this is going to be quite interesting. As mentioned, I'm 2 patches behind, so this is all old hat content for most people at time of streaming. I do wonder how well the Manderville bayonet, the Manderville gunblade looks with the outfit, but I just really like using the Manderville weapons against the solution in enemies. I hear that. Here. Good to see you, Coda. As you may have heard, we've managed to dig up a lead regarding the sickness. What you guys got for me? Before diving into the details, perhaps refreshers in order. It's rather complicated after all. Huh, guess I should have let her do it. You've barely been crowned champion of light heavyweight division before our sister Eutrope challenged you. She was intent on claiming your soul as a means to cure her disease. And yeah, they mention it's mentioned in some dialogue here, but Eutrope's name sounds more like a Solution 9 name versus Yana and the little sister, because she embraced the Solution 9 culture a lot more and wished to be a part of it, which is also why she was an Arcadian champion herself for so many years. But unfortunately, yeah, she mysteriously vanished one day. Of course, we still have the mysterious benefactor. She'll probably explain it. The illness appears to afflict those using feral souls to an excessive degree, such as those of Arcadian fighters. We learned from Eutrope that the immortalized, who we thought lived in luxury in the upper levels, are actually all dead, taken by the disease. Yeah, so we also need to figure out who's in charge of this whole Arcadian and see what's behind this, because I have the feeling this is not going to be quite so easy. Since that revelation, we've looked into alternate ways to cure it, and we might have found some news to share. It's all thanks to Neune. Like Eutrope, she has a sense for electrope technology. She learned to do all sorts of things from tinkering on her own. Oh, Yana, don't give them the wrong idea. It's the people of Oblivion we have to thank for these discoveries. I've had access to Everkeep's core systems for information on souls. I've attempted to access Everkeep's systems for information on souls. Ah, that explains it. Unsurprisingly, I failed. What's more, an Oblivion member that was monitoring the unauthorized access had found me. She took me to the task, scolding me to never do something so reckless. When I explained the predicament, however, she kindly shared research data Oblivion had acquired from Origenics. That's the level 99 dungeon. That data was quite difficult to parse, but I managed to find some relevant information. Namely, the military was well aware of this, having also sought to utilize feral souls. Furthermore, they developed a method to identify the presence of the affliction. That brings us to our next move. Now that we're privy to this method, we feel we should use this to diagnose other fighters. They deserve to know if they're ill. Yeah, while it is dangerous that it could cause a riot, they have every right to know if there's a problem coming on. I guess that must have been... I guess the military had planned to use feral souls before they decided to transform them into monsters. Actually, yeah, they still use that. Remember, the Vanguard dungeon, the level 97 dungeon, had us fighting one of those guys. No, wait, no, it was 95. But yeah, he uses one to transform. So yeah, they did use them in use, have them in use, but since most of their fighters are mechanical soldiers, they don't have to worry about it as much. So they probably don't have to use the feral souls much at all. I'm glad you agree. I can't sit idly by knowing they might die. As Medem warned us, the president doesn't take too kindly those who gets in his way. He'd be extremely unimpressed if we revealed the secret to those who've yet to fight and cause their withdrawal. Of course, you're still liable to incur the president's ire by becoming Grand Champion and releasing the souls, but we should avoid getting to his crosshairs for as long as we can. Yeah, we're going to piss him off at one point or another. In fact, he might even be aware of what we're trying to do, but he also has no reason to act on us, since as far as he's aware, some of the other fighters might actually have a chance of beating us right now. So he might just be sitting back and waiting for them to beat us naturally. That's why I propose we approach only those fighters you've already bested. As they're barred from fighting for a time, it wouldn't have immediate impact on the championship. There are risks, however. Every time our fellow fighters use a feral soul, they bring themselves closer, including in a match against you. Which is why it's important we tell them the truth as soon as possible, so we can stop that from happening for good. Yeah, I'm guessing Yana already gave up hers to make sure that it doesn't happen to her, because, well, I'm actually kind of surprised Eutrope didn't already ask her to stop, now that I think about it, because obviously Eutrope wouldn't want her younger sister to be suffering from as well. Knowing what the illness has done to Eutrope, it feels nothing less than personal. To begin with, let's reveal the truth to Honey. Despite being rivals, we're actually quite close. Just a moment while I call her. Honey's been a fan favorite, even though my understanding is she doesn't appear in this raid tier, so I'm sure they'll appreciate it. I think I even joked that she could potentially have been an unlockable old trust for beating the Arcadion storyline whenever that finishes, which will probably be next patch. Granted, the 0.3 patch just dropped, so the 0.4 one that gives the final step is still a ways away. But nonetheless, that's good to... But nonetheless, yeah, hard to believe I almost missed an entire tier of gear. It's not going to be too hard to get my gear back up to speed, don't get me wrong. In fact, I've already capped my tomestones ever since I've gotten back. I've been doing hunts to do so instead of EX Roulette, and wow, not only is it faster, but I get more rewards as well. Unless you really need the Grand Company seals or the desynth materials from the dungeons, I suppose. But I personally get more from the hunt rewards. Busy as expected, but I can spare a moment. She can spare a moment. She's on her way now. Well, she is whatever the Orisian equivalent of an influencer is, so. I was frightened first when Oblivion found me, but actually, when I actually met its members, they all turned out to be quite nice. Honey manages to balance 2 careers at once. I can't help but admire her. They actually gave one of her donut earrings as a reward from an event at one point, but it's hard to see because her hair is so long. So it's kind of funny that one of the big Moogle Tome rewards was the Honeybee Lovely's earring, but most people didn't even know she wore any just because her hair is covering it most of the time. I guess it's a bit more visible when she transforms, but, well, no, her hair is still huge there, too. So what's this about, then? I hope it's as urgent as you say it is. Oh, you might want to sit down because it really is. It's about your personal health. And obviously, a content creator needs to be sure they're in good shape. My stars! You're serious, aren't you? Could I be afflicted as well? There's a way to diagnose you. Regulators are designed to monitor the state of the wearer's soul. If you connect yours to a terminal, we can confirm if there's any signs. I wouldn't be surprised if they manage to find something like that. Hopefully it's not, or if it is, it's at least in the first stage where she can do something about it. Please be at ease, Miss Honey. Your soul shows no sign of degradation. Truly? Oh, what a relief. I shudder to imagine how it might be affected by such a dreadful disease. You're fine too, I suppose? You joined the Arcadion well after I did, after all. Well, I haven't gotten any symptoms yet. Yana was so eager to prove herself, she used feral souls numerous times when training, so I examined her. We found that she's on the threshold of developing the disease. Well, if she stops now, that should be fine. For mercy's sake, Yana, we're forbidden from training with feral souls, and knowing what I know now, I'd say it's because the President doesn't want us to die too early. It'd be bad for entertainment. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. You know how polygraphs and the ability to determine... And if someone is lying is rather well known nowadays, you could just do a Google search and look on the wiki or whatever. Yeah, stuff tells like sweating, blinking twice, putting your hand to your mouth, voice things. Those are all heart rate. Those are all things that the military had known for a while, and they tried to keep it the U.S. military didn't know about that for a while. I can't say for sure about other countries, but it's rather an open secret. The U.S. military knew about it for a while and tried to keep it a secret since, you know, being able to tell if someone's lying is pretty good. Not to say it's impossible. I mean, it's rather known that if you know what a polygraph does and how, it's easy to get yourself to trick it. And of course, again, if you know what signs usually cause it, you can avoid it. But it wasn't, by not knowing the ways to tell, it was easier to find people. But, of course, science ever marches on, and at the end of the day, the scientists will discover these things and make them public. Perhaps it's good in a way, though. After all, a lot of the things people do when lying are completely subconscious. You don't even realize you're doing it until after. Which is why usually only people who are very specifically trained for a reason are able to get past it. You know, like spies and such. I suppose... I guess you could say it's a mixed blessing, since being able to catch spies because they wouldn't know, but at the same time... Like I said, I can only confirm the U.S. government, but I wouldn't be surprised if all the others knew it as well. Well, maybe not at the same time, but yeah. For mercy's sake, Yana, we're forbidden. And yeah, Honey makes a good point. Now that we know that the President likely knew about this and was keeping it under wraps, he's probably just put some rules to try and minimize the effects until it's already too late, so that he can benefit before then. At any rate, neither of us should use feral souls again, which means we can't fight in the Arcadion anymore. Alright then, I guess I'll retire. Well, she did already have another job, so she could just fall back on her influencer work. Really? I wasn't expecting to decide so quickly. While I've graced countless magazine covers and concert stages, I never shined so brightly as when I fought in the ring, that is true. But everything I've done so far was to bask in the adoration of the people. I couldn't do that if I were dead, now could I? So I'll look for another avenue to apply my talents, and you can be sure I'll succeed, after all. I'm Honeybee Lovely, the brightest star in the sky. I really love that the first set gave a completely unique theme for each and every single fight. Now that I'm scheduled to appear on broadcast, so I must be on my way. Thanks for the warning, my little dears. You're all lifesavers. Yeah, when faced with the possibility of something like that, most would keep going, especially since she has a... But actually, I think it's easier for her entirely because, like I said, she has a fallback. She has plenty of other ways, especially since she is, for all her boisterous acting, she is genuinely talented. The story made that very clear. So she absolutely does not require... So I guess you could say the Arcadion needed her more than she needed the Arcadion. She really is something else, honey. Right, that leaves one fighter I'd like to inform, Brute Fighter Bomber, who you defeated in light heavyweight. We're not exactly friends, but I won't abandon him either. He's not likely to answer when called, though, so we'll have to visit him at his home in residential radius 9N11. Alrighty, we'll give him a house call. Brew Bomber is also a fan favorite. I guess you can't get enough of a wrestling heel. I guess it's about equal distance between those two, so let's go this way. Come to think of it, I'm kind of surprised you can go in so many of these. Oh, leave me be, I'm absolutely fleeced. Oh, that's like a copy cup or something. It does look quite nice. I always carry a personal terminal with me, that way we can check for the illness when we arrive at the apartment. Here we are. Let's hope he's willing to hear us out. Yeah, the wrestling heels, it's usually an act. Some people like to play the bad guy despite being perfectly nice people. I mean, heck, but I guess since most people are weebs, remember Junji Ito, famous for horror, some of the most messed up horror stuff, is actually supposedly one of the nicest guys around. Oh, I probably should have put that better. The point is, you wouldn't expect him to be a great guy. An actual great guy, after seeing all that stuff. Oh, you're so cute, I could eat you up. Aw, that's adorable. Oh, I get it. He's surrounded by cats, including Makode. That's actually quite clever. Oh. So yeah, the bad guy with a heart of gold. Why do they only flock to you? It's hardly fair. Well, these are my kittens. If you don't like it, you go back to your woman. Rub salt in the wound, would you? You know full well she left me. Come on, little ones, come to me. I suppose the phrasing that he made could be a little better there, too. Oh well, we all need to work on the phrasing. Let's do it together. That reminds there's Utopes, the champion of the Cruiserweight division. This poses a problem. We can't reveal the truth with him here. I guess that's a preview of a boss. The blazes you doing here? You want to get your asses kicked? You're Koda, the unenhanced warrior, are you not? Oh, that's me, yes. Howling Blade at your service. It's a pleasure to meet you, and I hope we have the chance to meet in the ring soon. The pleasure's all mine. I see no reason to play the heel. We've already got a good one here. Some people are just going to be better playing heel than others. Lest you wonder, I do not make it a habit of wearing a regulator. My parents didn't believe in using them. Yana and her sisters were raised with similar values, as I recall, before adapting at Eutrope's insistence. However, I still use a regulator in every battle, like with any fighter, except for you. I didn't know the two of you were friends. Surprised a reviled heel like him, a beloved face like me would get along. Honestly, this actually makes a lot of sense. I am not surprised by this one bit. Truth is, we've known each other since childhood. We just can't seem to be rid of each other. We couldn't fit into any of the jobs that were introduced to us, and got up to all manner of mischief. We'd likely have carried on like that if the president of Arcadia hadn't come and taken us in. Though it isn't easy being a fighter, we felt like it was our calling. Believe it or not, he used to be so shy he could hardly form a sentence. But when he became the Brute Bomber, it's as if he was reborn. Shut up. They don't need to know that. Oh, shut up and kiss already. Thinking back, we owe everything to the Arcadion and the President. Unfortunately, something soon might change your mind. Aye, that we do. Well, I've seen the kittens as I intended, so I'll take my leave now. Till next time, Coda. So what do you want? There's something you need to know. Yeah, he's probably going to change his opinion of the president once he finds out what's going on here. Lies, that president would never. I have the results of the examination. I'm afraid his soul already shows signs of the disease. What? That's nonsense. If he's been going on for longer than anyone else, it would make sense. He does appear to. I think they even mentioned he was one of the older ones, hence why he was able to be the winner of the light heavyweight division, because he's a lot more older, more experienced than they were. As the soul's eaten away, it loses its connection to the body, leading to bouts of intense dizziness. The early symptoms, if left unchecked, the body will continue to weaken until. The Arcadion means a lot to you. It means a lot to me as well. But you need to retire. You're already ill. Until we can find a cure, the only way to prevent your condition from worsening is to stop fighting. Enough. I won't listen to any more of your nonsense. Get out of my sight. Well, we've done what we could. It's up to him and what he does now. Let's go home. I should have more than enough item level on my tank to get through these fights relatively easily. The only thing is I'm going to be significantly undergeared, but the good news is because we're on the cusp of this raid tier being retired, it should be very easy to be carried by the rest of the team. It does suck, but the least I can do is be a tank and not die. Yeah. A couple eye levels behind is going to be annoying, but because of how for better or for worse, ever since Shadowbringer's aggro basically doesn't exist, even the best DPS will never keep up with my aggro as long as I'm constantly attacking while I have Royal Guard up, or whatever the aggro generation skill is. Wow, this is quite a long walk. Oh yeah, the jog. I don't remember if that was in last time I played. It might have even been added during one of the patches I skipped. But yeah, it basically means your sprint is now functionally permanent while in town, so you don't have to switch to a Bard or Ninja or something with a permanent run speed increase. Yeah, I wish they'd focus a bit more on quality of life stuff like that rather than. Well, they did say they're redoing a lot of the job stuff in 8.0, but well, like I said, I've mentioned in earlier streams, they promised that a lot of jobs in Dawntrail would have been revamped like Dragoon, but all they did was remove a handful of skills, which, to be fair, does genuinely reduce skill bloat, so the hot bars aren't so full, but it's still kind of disappointing, you know? Alright, let's see here. Hello, Nuni. It was difficult to tell Mr. Brute's diagnosis. Unfortunate. Not only Eutrope, but Brute Bomber as well. We need to find a cure as soon as we can. According to Eutrope, a remedy's an infusion with an extremely dense soul. That's why she targeted you. Right. It's not just that we're strong in terms of combat ability. It's because we fused with one of our other reflection cells with Ardbert. So our soul's much stronger than anyone else's, just because we're technically 9 fragments fused instead of 8 fragments like most here on the source. The data from Eurogenics seems to support this, though it's only a hypothesis. The researchers believed reinforcement from a dense soul could be effective, but this is not the solution we seek. We'll find another way if I have to scour the ocean of data if I have to. Yeah, we only just learned that this thing existed at all, so it makes sense it'd take a good while to find a cure. For all her searching, Eutrope could only find one cure. Well, she's also one person searching alone. If we can get others in on this. Still, something about her actions doesn't sit right. The Eutrope I know wouldn't think to save herself at the cost of someone else. I can't help but think she's still fighting something. It could be possible that the president is sending her on this, or promised her protection of her family or something. Could have, or maybe even threatened her family. Defeat the hero here, so that he doesn't release the souls, and I'll make sure your family is kept safe or something. Hello? Alright, understood. That was Medem. Cruiserweight matches are ready and he wants us to meet him in the green room. Best of luck on your next match, Mr. Coda. Please be safe. That's right. There we are. Please leave the search for a cure to me. Focus only on the coming match. I guess I should weigh in on the whole mod thing, since I don't really, obviously, as you can see, I don't really use any mods, but I understand why people would, both cosmetic and otherwise. But unfortunately, when it comes to games, mods are always an inherent risk, no matter what you're doing. Like, I'm not going to pay attention. The reason I'm not going to bring up what the devs have said about it, not what other players are saying about it, is because, unfortunately, it's usually going to be like this no matter what. It's technically against terms of service there, and they can't officially endorse it, especially since, you know, this game has a lot of Rule 34 mods that they can't allow people to think, oh, is the game normally like that? It's why they had to cut down the billboard for a nightclub, because that was a completely player-run thing, but because it was on a billboard, people thought Square Enix itself was advertising nightclub stuff in the game, so that can't stay. So I understand it's always going to be a risk no matter what, which might sound like a cop-out thing since I'm not really saying anything for or against it, but that's unfortunately how it is. And there's always going to be people who take it too far like others. Like with Marvel Rivals, there is a very popular third-party app that pulls data from the game so that whenever you're fighting someone in competitive, you can look up what their main is, what they have the most wins on, what teammates they work with, so that you can target bans. Some use it so much they insist that it should be taken as default, and that because it's so easy to access, anyone who's not should be considered gimping themselves intentionally. But again, that was something that the devs themselves are taking steps against, because like they can't shut down the site itself, but they were able to start adding anonymous features to prevent it from pulling during the opening parts of a round, so that you can't ban around it. And obviously people felt that was unreasonable or unfair, because that defeats the point of the mod. But yeah, it's always going to be a thing here, so I know it's a bit of a cop-out for me to not even bother taking a side, but that's just, unfortunately, that's just how it is. So while I won't be honest and say I have a side, it's not really relevant to the discussion, I don't feel, because that's just how these things are going to be going. People will make their mods, people will use them, possibly even go too far with them, and the devs will crack down, and it's just going to be an endless cycle, for better or for worse. We've been waiting your arrival, Coda. Let me show you to the green room. Ah, here at last. Now the party can truly begin. Well, I'm glad to see someone started the festivities. Now, who are you again? That's better. This drab room was begging for a touch of color. Love your work, by the way. A match with you is sure to be a font of inspiration. Defiant dance. Boisterous binger. We're going to get down, you and I. Oh, yes, we are. Oh my, how forward. But I'm afraid I barely know you. Only 2? We met 3 last time. As you've surmised, they are your rivals in the Cruiserweight division, and I understand you're already acquainted with the champion. Ah. Yeah, so, yeah, that's why they only bothered introducing 2, because the 3rd one's already there. Given the situation of the realm, you may have doubts about fighting for entertainment, but it's now, most of all, the citizens are in need of a diversion to make them forget their cares. Right, remember, this was, before the, this was during the .2 patch when we finally met the villain for the patch storyline, as well as, so the fake Savine had been showing up to cause trouble and then vanished as soon as Calyx was done with her, basically. Huh. Well, yeah. I'm counting on you to captivate the audience once more with a rousing combat and make the very walls of the Arcadion shake with excitement. The fighters in this diversion are characters too, huh? That's far more of them than showmanship. As you already know, Cruiserweight utilize more potent feral souls. Their attacks will pack a much heavier punch. You'll need to brace yourself to be fully prepared. Ooh, that's gonna be a big thing, because I did notice, from a mechanical standpoint, when I tried doing the Savage for the first tier, the light heavyweight division, I noticed that even the auto attacks were hitting me surprisingly hard whenever I was tanking. Didn't matter if I was Dark Knight or Gunbreaker like now, I was taking a lot more damage than I was expecting from just the auto attacks. I also noticed that I also noticed you had a surprisingly high amount of time before the Enrage, but both me and the people I were with weren't exactly great. Now, granted, that was earlier in the tier before I was fully geared out, and also it was basically the start of the expansion before I started doing other things. So it was neat to notice those things, but I'm losing my train of thought here. Yeah, it could just be that I suck. But what I mean is I didn't play it as much as I was hoping. I was getting caught up in a lot of other things. Although, still, the fact I tried at all means this is the first expansion since Stormblood that I actively tried to do the raiding scene. The Dancing King. Yana's eyes gleam with anticipation. Ready, are you? Good. Let the unstoppable upstart Cruiserweight campaign begin. Right, let's take a look at your first opponent. Disco Dancin'. The Valiant Reveler Dancing Green. Wow. I was gonna make a Dancing Queen joke after Dancing King, but no, that is 100% intentional. He's a shameless playboy, loves partying the night away in pubs and clubs. Even his Arcadion bouts, he treats his parties where he's the center of attention. Using the soul of a terrible toad, he's gained heightened physical prowess and seamlessly incorporates dance moves. Victory will come down to whether or not you ride the rhythm. Your best bet might be to treat the fight as a party as well. Let yourself go with the flow. You might be surprised with what follows. Now then, go and show that party animal what moves you got and seize your first victory. That's it? Just a terrible toad? I guess he must have a lot of natural skill and adds on top, although a dance fighter is actually really good for show fighting like this, because the opponent's going to have a lot more difficult following. Raids. Here are raids. Cruiserweight. Unfortunately, I've already maxed out my, I've completely maxed out my, cap tomes for the week, because again, hunts are really, really nice. It only takes like 2 or 3 to max everything, and the sacks of nuts you get for the clan nutseed exchange is even better. Oh, hey, it's Eutrope's theme here. This game makes pretty good use of motifs, and it's gotten me to notice in other places, like how I was loving the Pathfinder Kingmaker music because it also made good use of the lay motif. The only thing I wish I had done was actually do a proper fight against the boss you can talk down, I guess is the best way to put it, because I don't want to spoil that game while I'm playing a completely different one. Yeah, my, what's the item level required for these? Yeah, I've got more than enough item level for these. Yeah, 721. I'm more than ready for this. Yeah, as you can see, I did indeed upgrade my gear a little bit from last time. Although, the fact I'm still not 725, the one minimum needed to take on the story mode fight against Necron should tell you how it is. By the way, the singer who sings Eutrope's theme, Give It All, also sings the opening theme to Marvel Rivals. Apparently they also did some anime opening song as well, so glad to know that artist is getting work. She's really good. Oh right, I should put on the thing here. Here are our MMO chat block. Cruiserweight M1. Dancing Green. Casino aesthetic, huh? Glad to see someone else appreciates the Reaper as well.
He's young, he's stylish, and he knows all the moves. The soul of the party and the king of the dance floor, Dancing Green.
Party animal, Dancing Green.
Are you ready to get down? The Upstart's Cruiserweight campaign begins.
Do the hustle.
Can you keep up with the rhythm?
Come on.
We're just getting started. Keep grooving, baby. Dancing Green is pulling out all the stops of these things.
There we are.
On the dance floor, everyone's a star.
Wow, I am really doing badly here.
Bask in the spotlight and burn, baby, burn! An invitation to dance. How will the challenger respond?
Flawless.
Will the challenger be all right?
Shame. time, come on. Actually, I'm pretty sure that is in fact what he's referencing with that.
Come on, show me your moves.
Show me your moves. Did I find out the hard way it caps at 8? Yeah, it caps at 8. Oh dear. Let's reduce the damage here.
You're up, dancers.
Oh no, he's summoning backup dancers.
Heat. Try to keep up now. Divas, take it forward. Can the upstart keep up with Dancing Green? Dance like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, I was gonna die eventually.
Let's finish with style.
Let's move. That's his big ultimate.
Not bad, but I reckon you've got more in you. Back to it, dancers!
Frog Tarage. There we are. I did not want to hit anyone else with that.
Show us some electrifying moves! Spotlight and burn, baby, burn!
Probably gonna kill me.
The challenger's down! Is this the end? Dancers, take it away! Yeah, baby! I feel the fever coming on again! The knight's reached a fever pitch! All eyes are on Dancing Green!
Alright, Lionheart.
Dance like there's no tomorrow! finish with style! Groovy moves! The crowd's loving it!
I really hope one of the DPS limit breaks him. We're not
Come
going to need the
on,
healer.
show me your moves!
Ah, crap.
We're just getting started! Keep grooving, baby!
Alright, the Reapers.
Bask in the spotlight and burn, baby, burn! What power! Looks like someone isn't holding back.
Reaper did it. Reaper's getting the calm if he's still around after this.
The match is decided! Victory goes to the challenger.
Nice that we can start using the cheerful victory poses in here. Yes, thank you, Reaper.
It's all over. Until next time.
Oh, the lockout's gone. There we are. Well fought, Coda. With this victory, you've proven yourself a force to be reckoned with in the Cruiserweight division. Should probably... Direct hit isn't bad for tanks, since they don't normally have direct hit, so adding it is a significant damage increase. Yana's ready to introduce yourself to your next opponent. Introduce you to the next opponent. Right then, let's ride the wave of this momentum for the next victory. So who's next? I'm assuming the painter then. As long as she's not a giant sad naked lady with a paintbrush, we should be in good shape. And here's your next opponent. A fighter who lives and breathes art. She uses the ring as her gallery. Sugar Riot. Huh, I would have expected Sugar Rush. Unless that's already being used somewhere. Could be, actually. This game has had quite a few names and aliases. Before coming to Arcadion, she was a graffiti artist. Most of the graffiti you see in Solution 9 is by her or those imitating her style. My city actually pays graffiti artists to put art on the boxes and on power boxes and such. By injecting herself with a soul of a deadly pudding monster, she's able to concoct special paint that can cause actual changes in reality. Even the interesting. So the lost art of pictomancy is not actually lost. To her, fighting is a medium for her art, a means of expressing herself. Her imagination's boundless, and you have to take care not to get overwhelmed, staying calm no matter what she throws at you. If you can manage that, you'll surely overcome Sugar Riot and continue on your way to the top of the Cruiserweight division. I don't think I ever looked into why they pay graffiti artists to put their art on stuff like that. It's probably as simple as just to make sure that to make it look nicer. Well, I guess that, and it's better to have someone doing it on your dime than having someone doing it randomly. Yeah. but that's entirely my speculation. I have no guarantees on that. I neglected to mention the audience will be watching the match remotely. Sugar personally designed their avatars, so try and steal a glance when you can. Luckily, tanks have decent queue times here. I'm pretty sure they all have the same eye level requirements, so I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, so I can do this entire set here without... Worst case scenario, I can just redeem some of the items I got. Since the weekly lockout's gone, I can just bid on everything I need to and use that to help push towards the next area. Ah. So they're like those old PlayStation or N64 games where they're always facing, their 2D models always facing the player. You can see with the, like the trees in Mario 64.
The ring is her studio, and reality her canvas. She's a rebel with a cause who captivates all with her illusions. Sugar Riot!
Well, she's not the paintress, art at war, but she is a giant. Wait a minute, between this and the one in Endwalker, is this going to be a thing now? We're going to fight giant Lalafels everywhere?
What inspiration will you give me, I wonder?
Welcome to Sugar Riot's Gallery of Glamours!
I love the animations for the Lionheart combo, but you can't see a lot of them if you're weaving, and I'm willing to bet the next expansion will add a continuation for each one. Let's see what this does. Single style, those are just bombs.
And with a flourish, Sugar Riot brings her work to life.
Bomb with wings. Ah, I see, they move. Arrow. I have no idea which of the arrows are relevant here, so I'm gonna go with these guys and assume they know what they're doing. Oh, I see. I'll just stand where the Dark Knight is and assume the Dark Knight knows what they're doing. I'm sure this can't end badly.
Will the challenger be all right?
What's your favorite color? An image comes to me. I hope you like it hot and sandy.
The rain has become a desert.
How about a little more sunshine?
Swell train with this. Unable to bear the heat and taking damage over time. This is a very easy problem to
I think
resolve.
of these prickly fellows.
Watch out. It's a veritable storm of needles.
I'll just have to Eat that. Well, mistakes happen. I'm not going nearly as bad as Reed.
Oh, I know.
I can't... Yeah, I wasn't range to the OG CD, and I'm hesitant to use it now.
Quicksand? Oh, you don't want to get caught in that.
Probably should have gone with the other one, but oh well. Boost.
What's your favorite color? When you can't decide on one thing, what do you think of this?
Amazing! They clearly anticipated that attack.
What do you say to a refreshing riverscape?
Well, that might be nice after the desert. I have a feeling I'm going to regret saying that.
A crystal clear river! How charming!
This is no good. It needs a touch of thunder, a dash of downpour.
A thunderstorm has turned the waters muddy! How frightening!
I have it. Some destruction to facilitate deconstruction.
A massive raging storm! I hope you brought my housing. The challenger rises again! Can they turn this around?
It's not nearly as difficult. Can't be too near any allies there.
When you can't decide on one thing, what do you think of this?
I can take that blow.
Effortlessly dodged.
That'll be a good time for a DPS LB. makes sense without going to get one. Picto did it. Picto gets the,
What power! Looks like someone isn't holding back.
Chromatic Fantasy. Well, I'm sure she would appreciate being defeated by another Picto.
The match is decided! Victory goes to the challenger.
Alright, Picto gets it for using the LB.
It's all over. Until next time.
Oh, nice. And there we are. That's the two newcomers defeated. Well done, Coda. I knew you could do it. Your next match will be against the Cruiserweight champion himself. But seeing as we have a bit of time, there's something I'd like to attend to first. I want to tell Dancing Green and Sugar Riot about the condition and about psychonecrosis and see if they develop the symptoms. We can have to save them too if we can. Yeah, they've already lost, so the president's not going to be bothered. I borrowed Naomi's terminal so we can perform the examination here in this room. Rest assured I've already checked for listening devices. The two should be here any moment now. So what's this about, baby? We having a party here. If that's the case, I'll excuse myself. I'm rather keen to give form to the inspiration you've given me. Well, I'm afraid we have something more important than any of this right now because it's regarding your health. While I'm relieved to say you haven't manifested the disease yet, you're both dangerously close to doing so. One more feral soul injection could push you beyond the brink. It would be wise to stop fighting in the Arcadion. Whoa, talk about a downer, baby. This is all very sudden, and I struggle to accept it, but for both you and Honey to retire, there must be truth to your words. It's no easy thing to retire, I know, but for your own safety, I ask you give it careful consideration at least. It's not an easy choice, given this is the livelihoods for a lot of people. I've made up my mind, I'll retire. This doesn't leave the room, but I've always struggled to play the part of Dancing Green. To maintain the persona of a party animal, I've had to spend night after night on the town, and when I'm not doing that, I'm practicing dance in the studio. It's exhausting, soul-crushing. I pushed through it all because I didn't want to disappoint the fans, but this revelation, it sets me free. Dancing used to be my passion. Perhaps I could learn to love it again. Ah, I see. He accidentally turned what he loved into something, into work. From fun into work. I always thought you were a genuine party animal, living only to revel. To think it was actually a burden on your shoulders. The ring has been my precious studio. It's saddening to think I won't be able to step within it again. But it was on the streets that I learned plying my craft, and this revelation is a sign telling me that I should go back to my roots. So I'll do just that. I'll go back to a time when the whole city was my studio, and its walls my canvas. Truth be told, seeing you fight without a feral soul helped me realize that maybe it's alright to just be myself. I'm relieved. Thank you for listening. Well, we'd rather not die, of course, and it's you we have to thank for warning us. We're liable to attract suspicion if we stay here too long. We'll discuss when to break the news to management at a later date. Yeah, the good news is they're forced to be on a break now that they've lost an official match. So they can time it to avoid looking suspicious. For not very much screen time, those characters really had a nice bit to them. Perhaps Dancing Green a bit more, since he originally loved to party. He added it to his gig, but it ended up being too much, and he ended up despising what he loved, and... dang. Thankfully, those two have other places to employ their talents, just like Honey. For others like Brute Bomber and Howling Blade, however, the Arcadion is everything to them. It isn't easy for them to retire. This I know better than most, but it's a matter of life and death. Alright, I'm gonna grab a sip of my drink before going into the next stage. Hopefully my new mic's been going well. It seems like it's been working well, but obviously I'll have to... just a quick clip of my own stream before I start is only so much. I'll have to listen back parts of it later, see how that sounds. Maybe even turn down the volume a bit, hard to say. Alright. Twisted Vengeance. Yana appears to be lost in thought. In any case, our priority now is to win the title match. Let's return to the gym and prepare. Yeah, I expect we're gonna get another attack from Eutrope or something along the way, so we're gonna have to see how this goes. Granted, both Brute Bomber and we know the other guy listening in, they could tell the manager, and if they know the president knows about it, that could be troublesome. It means he'll bring... then again... we can't be going public with this stuff. Just yet, though. It's important to become known, but... Yana, here we are. Naomi, we believed her here. Both Dancing Green and Sugar Riot plan to retire. Come, let's share the good news. Thank goodness you're here. We have an emergency. Look at this. Hand over all the feral souls you got. This is unbelievable, folks. Just when we thought Brute Bomber couldn't sink any lower, it seems now intends to use unregulated feral souls. And several of them at once. This madman is going to turn himself into an abomination. This is a violation of the rules. He'll be banned for this. Shut your bloody trap and get out of my way. Hey, Unstoppable Upstop, you're watching this? Come and find me at the Demolition site on the 8th level. We're gonna fight again this time. I'm gonna destroy you, you hear me? Destroy you. Well, he did in the last round. He did go, I'll blow you. So I guess destroy is the next step up. That idiot, instead of listening to us, he goes and does this. He wants to go out. The general public is unaware, but the doping tonic Brute Bomber imbibes during his matches is actually a harmless prop he uses as part of his ring persona. That's why his matches continue even though he's quote-unquote disqualified. Using multiple feral souls at once, however, is expressly forbidden due to the extreme danger. Ah. Yeah, I figured since he's based off wrestling heel, it's possible the quote-unquote illegal substance was just a fake, was just part of the deal. Doing so warps the flesh irreversibly. It turns you into an abomination, as Mr. Medem said. In worst case, it can straight up kill you. It's likely because it greatly accelerates the soul's degradation. Yeah. Right, since we know the showrunner knows about this and is hiding it, so he's just making the rules to... That also... Yeah, between this and the fact that he disallows using feral souls to train, and he knows damn well that it will affect it, and so he's trying to minimize it so that he can work shadows. You went and told him about the disease, didn't you? Despite more warnings, you went and told him. I'm sorry, but I couldn't leave him to his fate. Well, he ended up taking the matter to the president, who naturally denied the existence, and naturally, Brute Bomber chose to believe him. That's not all. The president sanctioned a grudge match between you and him under one condition. In order to stand a chance, he has to inject multiple feral souls for the fight. I made a great fuss on the broadcast about his use of them, but it was all staged. Everything is according to the president's script. I wondered if even that was part of the rules, since, you know, assaulting the referee was, of course, part of the rules, part of the script. Everything's according to the script. He wants to be rid of you, and he's using Brute Bomber to do so. Brute Bomber's already exhibiting symptoms. This will straight up kill him. I know, I tried to talk him out of it, but he refused to listen. For him, the president's orders are absolute. Make no mistake, the match will go ahead. Even should you ignore this challenge, he'll inject himself with the assembled souls and come for you. Besides, if you still intend to become Grand Champion and release the souls, I fear there's no way except to go through with this fight. Yeah, I don't think Medem's secretly planning to backstab us or anything. I don't think he's secretly the president. But I do believe when he says that he's been ordered to follow a script to make it look normal. So prepare the best you can to meet the Arcadion. I'll have the chauffeur take us to the venue. I'm coming too. I'm the one who caused this by revealing it to Brute Bomber. At least I can do is be there. At least with tank privileges, it'll be a lot harder for him to kill me. There are many reasons I decided to do this on a tank. Well, that because if I did it on Reaper, it would take 10 minutes for each and every queue. I should probably do some of the quests around here. I haven't done most of these since Stormblood, if we're honest. Largely because, well, back in Heavensward and Realm Reborn, they were a decent way to get an injection of experience, but nowadays, between not just roulettes, but the deep dungeons, open world areas like Eureka, Bosja, and now the Occult Crescent, and all those things, there's just so many convenient ways to level. It's just not nearly as worth my time. But they do genuinely unlock a good bit of lore about the area. I mean, I've even done a few in here already. Apparently, they basically did use souls as a currency, but then had to move to actual money like the rest of Terali in order to get it going. First of all, because Terali doesn't deal in souls, so you need a currency they actually accept. And also, you know, the big culture change. Oh, here's the chauffeur. If you're ready to depart, then pray let the chauffeur know. Let's waste no time, Coda. The broadcast is staged. The Brute Bomber's desire for revenge is most definitely real. There's no telling what foolishness he might commit while we're waiting. Master Coda, I have awaited your arrival. It's my pleasure to escort you to the location of your match, the 8th level of the demolition site. All's been made ready, the broadcasting equipment, and rest assured the device for manifesting your allies as well. Say the word and we shall depart. Yeah, he wants us at the demolition site so that he doesn't have to worry about holding back. Oh, that car is the thing you get for winning for the Savage fight. Do, 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 do. Brute, stop this madness at once. You'll place your life in danger. Danger? Ha! Who do you think you're talking to? I'm a Violet Har, the most heinous, despised fighter in the history of the Arcadion. I fear nothing and spit on the rules. I do whatever the hells I need to win. Wait. Thing is, even if he did succeed, the fact he'd transform into a monster and die would mean, he's gonna inject himself with several, transform into a chimerical fiend. He's no longer the Broom Bomber, but Broom Abominator. Thing is, he's gonna die from this no matter what. Even if he did manage to beat me, he's about to reveal that something killed him. And people are gonna investigate. Yana, we can't stay here. It's far too dangerous. Oh, but I can fight too. No. Coda. Let me handle this. Alright. I'm counting you to knock some sense in the fool. If there's any ability to save him, I'll do it, but this is gonna be very difficult. I thought truth be told, I thought you'd wait until after the title match, but I suppose better to get this over with sooner rather than later. Cruiserweight M3. Cruiserweight 3. Phoenix Downs not allowed. Oh, right. They also... Now, this is during the .3 patch, but they made it so that Phoenix Downs can now be used in... Can actually be used in combat, and you can hold 99 of them, so they're no longer useless. Completely useless. Freaking finally. They were pretty easy to get for how much you couldn't really use them. Before, you could only use them if you were out of combat. So basically, if you beat a... But since healers are in instance combat like this all the time... You they were kind of useless because even a lot of DPS though, like Red Mage and Summoner also have revives, so worst case scenarios, a healer dies and nobody's there, oh, maybe you get them up. At the same time, it was usually easier to just revive at the thing since you were out of combat, and there's usually shortcuts to get back to where you are. It's not that long of a run. Oh my. 21 minutes. Oh, remember, I'm a tank, so I have the fastest Qs available. I guess I could do something while waiting. Oh, I thought he was staring at me, but it just looked that way. So yeah, he's just looking forward no matter what, and I thought it was looking at me directly. Well, I guess if we're gonna be a while, I might as well do something productive. And yes, as you can tell by the arcane artistry, I've begun the relics for the weapon. Next week, at time of streaming this, so if you're watching on YouTube, it's already out, but there's gonna be a new step as well, so I'm gonna have to take my time. It's another Atmos step, so in reference to the Realm Reborn one, it is a pain in the ass with very low rates of drop. But the good news is you only have to do it once, and then later it's easier to get the rest. So a high upfront cost, but easier repeat cost if you're getting multiple weapons. That said, I'm not a fan of the Phantom relics so far, but most relics I only really care for the second to last one. Like even Eureka, I think the Pyros weapons look a lot better than the final Eureka weapons. Oh my, we lost the DPS, but it went down to 5 minutes. mean, if it's gonna be a bit, I might as well go and do something else. Perhaps I should warp over to Cosmooka and do the daily for the, yeah, actually. Here we are, Doc Poga. Alright, I'll just do the random quests here while waiting. I'm told another one actually did come out, I just haven't unlocked it yet, so I'll worry about that later. I've still got a bit before I finish this one. Nice thing about if you're me and play PvP a lot, you get to see your mount and other people's mounts pretty regularly. They're also good on hunts, and if you do more of these reputation quests past the max, just so that you can level something, or if you want the rewards for any reason. Still, I'm kind of surprised. The other two areas queued up rather quickly. Why is this one so slow? Is this one where the daily things drop instead of the final one for some reason? No, even then, you'd have people doing that one a lot. It should still be the final one, though, where it's going to be easiest to queue for, because people might need to farm that. Conscientious Courier. Let's do this one last. Because that one requires going back to Doc Poga on foot, and I can do that on my own easily. Yeah, going back to Doc Poga on foot, and I can turn in the quests when I get there. All the quests when I get there that way. Yeah, I usually go with the circle around these. That said, I am kind of surprised. I thought the PeluPelu would be the crafting one, since that's what they're all about. They're all about merchandising stuff, and crafting is usually the merchant. Don't worry, buddy, I stumble over my words all the time, too. I even did it. I've done it this very stream. Alrighty. If you're wondering why I use this mount, it's because this mount is from PvP, and I'm pretty sure that's one of the these are the rarest mounts I have. Sadly, they're all kind of recolors of the Allegan orbs, but to be fair, PvP has been in the game since A Realm Reborn, if you can believe that. It's just that most never played it, which is a shame. Ever since the most recent revamp, it's been really... Ever since Endwalker, I think it was. Well, no, I was playing even before then. The whole reason I had Makai Master as my title since basically Heaven's Ward till this expansion is because it took a lot of work, because nobody played PvP, and it was a bit of a commitment to unlock, so... Yeah, there's definitely two types of difficulty for an MMO. There is ones that are actually hard, like Ultimate, Savage, and that sort of thing, which most people aren't going... and might not have the skill for, and a commitment into difficulty, which requires sticking to it for an extended period of time. Theoretically, anyone can get the commitment, so I understand why a lot of people don't consider them challenging content, but it still requires sticking with it for a very long time. In fact, that's why a lot of people who try to go for achievements just for the achievement's sake end up stopping around and never get the PvP ones, because this just require spending so many times, because like front lines is 20 minutes. It can go into overtime, but usually doesn't. And if there's like there's achievements for doing like 1,000 ones there, so do the math, 1,000 times 20 minutes. And of course, there's also ones for winning thousands of times. So, and realistically, you're going to be winning about a third of the time, because you can only, it's going to depend heavily on your team and how coordinated you are for how well you can coordinate things in order to win there, so yeah, it's just not realistic for most people. Well, I'm just a little lucky. I've been playing for so long that it adds up over time. So that's how I got things. That's also why I made sure my Reaper Glam has the Commander coat, because that thing takes an age and a half to unlock. Ah, no more reputation, huh? I should unlock that a bit. This last one is mostly just a capstone. I'll do it after I finish the raid here so I can put it... Or maybe I'll record it separately like I have the others. This one is okay. Yeah, it's about what I expected, but I'm kind of surprised the trading minigame stuff from the main quest wasn't used here. This seems like what it was specifically made for, to be blunt. You know, the one where Wuklamata trades a bunch of people in a Zelda-style trading minigame to figure out the item she needs. I mean, it's perfectly fine with me, don't get me wrong, but... Okay, good, we're finally getting people for M3. Why is M3 so difficult to get people for? Don't get me wrong, I'm not exactly queuing at peak times here, but... Whatever. I guess while here, I could give an update here for the channel. I plan to be using this game to fill time until, through September. Could be some PvP matches, could be some, could even just be some grinding at the, what's it called? Occult Crest, and just make it easier. I might also try another game, either perhaps replaying one I've already have, especially with the detective game, since I haven't done one of those in a while. Well, and I kind of missed them. The reason I don't want to start Pathfinder Kingmaker sequel, Wrath of the Righteous, the first game took about 3 months in a row to do, and that I was giving that more nights per week than I usually do, so that is a commitment to start. And while I perfectly am fine with that, the issue is it's practically September now, and at time of streaming, and October I have my birthday special. I have I plan to do some more Halloween-themed stuff for it, the works there, and I don't want... And that's going to interrupt anything that I'm doing at the time. And with that in mind, I would rather not start a game that requires that much commitment when I'm going to be interrupting it soon. Plus, Kingmaker is just a very long game in general, and I don't want to burn myself out too much on it early. Maybe I will just do this quest here. Clearly, this is going to be taking its sweet time. Partners in Pell. Liplu has exciting news to share. Coda, thanks to you, the Trolley Travel Agency's strength to strength. The Wings of Reflections backing has been a real boon, and we're seeing more traffic than ever. As so happens, we're due for another special guest. As you've seen many times before, would you like to see me welcome them? Let's go and wait outside. I get what they're going for with society, but I do think reputation quest might just be fine. A lot of games have this concept. It's not new. Ah, here we are, finally. It should warp me back over as soon as I win. So that should be nice. Guess I'll grab a sip of my drink while it loads. Cruiserweight M3. Well, this is going to be the final battle for poor Brute Bomber here.
He's back for revenge with a vengeance. The despicable fighter, formerly known as the Brute Bomber, the Brute Abominator!
Twisted Vengeance, Brute Abominator. Yeah, that Kaladin is unquestionably higher.
To take it outside, the Brute Abominator means business.
Just don't stand in bad. This is the advice I'm
Will the
giving.
unenhanced
Sounds
warrior
good.
be able to contend with this chimerical foe? He's used his feral powers to manifest a weapon. Oh, a brutal blow! But the contender is standing.
Luckily, one way or another, I'm still a tank, which means I can take a hit better than any other teammate. Oh, guess I'll stand here. Might as well help out.
Oh dear! Fiendish aura have sprouted from the scattered seas!
Oopsie.
Oh my! Even the cameras have been petrified, and now they're crashing down all around!
Oh dear. Over here should be safe. Well, I can take blows no matter what. Oh dear, we lost the healers. We do have a red mage, but
The challenger rises again! Can they turn this around?
alright, yeah, the red mage saved the match. I don't know where they're going, but that seems like I should be here.
Oh, he sent his rival flying! What fearsome strength!
Oh, this is like,
Goodness me, the Brute Abominator is hanging on the building!
there we go. Ah, there we are.
He's bounding from wall to wall!
Yeah, that hurts. Vengeance of Vines. My burst phase is coming up. I don't want to waste. I don't want to have all my good stuff on cooldown when that happens. It's okay. I can take that blow. Tank privileges. As long as I'm second on the list, even if Paladin accidentally dies, I'm in good shape. But yeah, you can tell how bad far behind my gear is.
location.
Wow, this actually has a lot of, it's the original, is this the original area?
We'll send cameras in there at once. The destruction appears to have started.
Yeah, the fact the arena is changing so much is actually really nice. There's a reason even people who don't like DT's story will still consider the fights good, and they've been really good.
Alaric, the brute bomber must still be in there somewhere. A punishing attack! Or the true power of this monstrous fusion. What a thrilling battle this, and it rages on!
Turn this off. I'm not losing aggro. Excellent. I'll take the bone stack if it protects the team. At the end of the day, I can't forget I'm still a tank. Okay, the, excellent.
The match is decided!
He didn't change back.
Victory goes
Remember,
to
everyone
the
else always
challenger.
changed back as soon as they were defeated. Unfortunately, this means his boyfriend's not going to be very understanding.
It's all over. Until next time.
There we are. That's perfectly fine. It's raining. It's no good. We're too late. All those feral souls took their toll on him. The president has broadcast cut the instant the match ended, so as to not reveal the terrible side of his entertainment. He remains furious you divulge the information. I'll do my best to appease him, but I fear little will come of my efforts. Oh, the kitten. Oh, he's a Dark Knight. I never thought you'd be the first to go, old friend. But worry not, I'll join you soon. Wait, you don't mean... I'm afraid so. I've been suffering the very same symptoms for a while now, but I didn't understand how serious they were until I had overheard your conversation. I too have psychonecrosis. Your sister and I began experiencing bouts of dizziness at about the same time. Not long before she disappeared without a word. I realize now she must have been searching for a way to fight her fate. Infinity. Sadly, you came at a rather depressing time. But I chose to accept mine. You came from beyond the barrier, Coda. No doubt you find it unsettling we use souls to cheat death. Having been raised without regulators, I felt much the same. To me, those who wore them have lived a bland and numbing existence, devoid of tension and excitement. The jobs arranged for me were tedious, and there was no way to escape this nation's dreary reality. But I finally found joy in the Arcadion. Being my fighting persona is everything to me, like it was for my friend. If the price for that's to die, I'll gladly pay it when the time comes. Come, little one. It's rubbing up against him. Oh, I thought it was nuzzling his claw. The cat knows. He's not coming home. This means he's probably going to do the same thing for the final bout. Becoming an abomination of his own. How can he accept death so readily? I guess he must not see any life beyond that. Damn it all, it doesn't have to be this way. I'm sorry, Coda. It's just also frustrating. You did what I could. I'm truly grateful. The president wasted no time covering things up. After retrieving the body, the company announced he's chosen to retire with this defeat. And so the matches will continue, but after a delay. It'll be a while before your Cruiserweight final fight. Title fight. I wonder where Nauni's gone. She wasn't here when I returned. I have the feeling I know, and something tells me it's not going to be good. Family matters. Worry is writ on Yana's face. Whatever's happened, I can't help but worry. Let's see if I can locate from her terminal. The president kidnapped her, didn't he? She's outside Everkeep. I hope she's never gone off without a word. Something isn't right. I get the sense the president's kidnapped her and is going to make some demands. I'm sorry, Coda, but could you help me find her? The signal from her terminal suggests she's somewhere in East Usalani Station. Do we have to fight the killer rabbit again? Because if we have to fight the killer rabbit again, and I have to be ready, because that actually was a very interesting dungeon fight, because you actually... The complete change in arena and ease at which you could fall into the pit was a bit of a surprise. And if you played that dungeon and didn't feel the urge to leap into the pit after the boss fight was over, you have no soul. Or rather, you just don't like fun. Were those graffiti always there? Or did they get added after? I genuinely have no idea. I guess they're going to have alcohol in every universe, given how tipsy that guy is. I see no need to spend money here. Sadly, Oblivion hasn't lost their members yet here. At least not in this part of the timeline. So it would be hilarious, but we might actually see Geode again by accident. It's silly, but it does happen on occasion. Like, when Realm Reborn was over and we were waiting for Heaven's Ward, it was rather popular to meme on the fact that one of the nation leaders, quote-unquote, died in the story, but you meet them as part of one of the job quests for the time, the culinarian quest, and so people poked fun at that. According to the signal, she should be in this area. I'll get my gunblade ready. I have the feeling the president's... Though I imagine the president's not here to fight. He's just going to offer us an offer we can't refuse. Nelana, you had me worried. What's going on here? I'm sorry. Eutrope contacted me saying she needs to speak with me. We were supposed to meet here, but she hasn't come. Forgive me. I didn't want to use you. I had no other choice. Oh no, she's going to become hot again. I defeated you once, what makes you think I can't do it again? Eutrope, don't do this. It's too late. There's no going back. If you won't back down... then neither will I. I'd rather not they have to fight each other, but this might be the only way to get her to explain what she's being blackmailed on. She held back. It's made clear that Eutrope is the stronger fighter, so she only... So, yeah, I'm pretty sure she held back specifically because Yana was fighting her. From the start, I thought it'd be strange you'd take another's life to save your own. But the truth is you aren't doing it to save yourself. You want to save the man you love. Not only him, every fighter in the heavyweight division suffers from psychonecrosis. And I'm the only one with a special soul that could work for that. Even so, they continue to trust the president. He saved them all in some way, helping them during the darkest times of their lives. The Howling Blade, Ratsara, is no different. He'd choose to remain in the Arcadion rather than be with me. That's why I decided to act alone. If my friends are determined to fight until they died, I'll find the cure no matter what. Ah! No, not you too. Naomi warned me this might happen, but I had to stop you. Honestly, I don't know what to do with the pair of you. Naomi. We're sorry, Naomi. There's no more need to fight. I think we can actually save everyone. She found something? A treatment for psychonecrosis does not require Coda's soul. In fact, I believe I might have found it. Typical. Oh, the adults were so busy fighting amongst themselves that we needed someone on the outside who was to figure things out. In this case, the last sister that they probably overlooked. But I scoured the data. There's no such thing. You looked at the data in Arcadion's archives, I believe. But thanks to the people of Oblivion, I was able to gain access to the military research logs. I came across something called regeneration factor. Regeneration factor? What's that What's that? When one is ill or injured, the body naturally attempts to repair itself, yes? The regenerator there is a force stimulating that recovery as part of life's design. Apparently, Lindblom scientists had developed a stimulant to enhance their soldiers' regeneration factor. That is what we need. But that was centuries ago. Does that stimulant even still exist? As a matter of fact, it was clearly indicated in a report that the formula has been determined. I see. The problem is the formula itself wasn't mentioned. We'll need to investigate further, and I need your help for that, Eutrope. After what I've done, I don't expect you to forgive me. But I mean it when I say I'm truly sorry. Eutrope. She's only fainted, thank goodness. We'd best take her home so she can rest. The good news is it does seem to take a while before the effects become a big problem, but... To think that Yana's manifested the illness as well. We need to figure out the formula for the stimulant as soon as possible. Well, we still have the last fight to do. Eutrope's resting upstairs. Her psychonecrosis is quite severe, so she needs to stay until we can treat her. You should worry yourself too. You've manifested the illness proper now. I'm sorry, Nayuni. I just couldn't stand here and let Eutrope harm Coda. That might have been... Trying to brag right now is useless. Just promise me you won't use the Feral Soul again. Still, I imagine her doing that was a big deal because they did make it clear that Eutrope was the stronger fighter between the two. The fact she lost makes me pretty confident that Eutrope intentionally held back when Yana tried to fight her, and that's why she was able to get a good blow. Yana wasn't fighting back, but Eutrope was. I promise, I need to practice what I've been preaching to everyone. You seem to be fine for the moment, but you seem at least a bit unusual. You know, if you feel at least a bit unusual, you need to let us know, alright? Now, even as we work on a cure, our matches with the Arcadion will continue. That being the case, we should also continue trying to convince the fighters to retire. The first being Howling Blade, your next opponent. We have to save him, for Eutrope's sake, not above all. But how can we convince him when he's determined to fight until he dies? Well, we do have something that might change his mind. It just so happens that I have a plan. We'll confront him on broadcast and challenge him to a wager. Whoever loses the title match will be forced to retire. Ah, so a public show to generate excitement like they do at the Arcadion. Exactly. With the people's eyes on him, the Cruiserweight champion would be hard-pressed to refuse. And once everyone starts thinking about it, even the president will have to let it go ahead. Yeah, he has to... Alright. Now, it's possible the president could still try to use some blackmail directly on us. Because, like, if he keeps any of the kid hostage or something, that's proven to be a good way to control us in the past. But he still has to be swayed by public opinion since he has to appease the masses. Whether he likes it or not, he has to bend to the will of the public. But how we do the broadcast? We haven't heard from Medb in a while, and the Arcadian won't cooperate with us. Well, ask Honey. She hosts broadcasts of her own, watched by countless viewers. We use it to ensnare the wolf. I'll contact Honey right now. and she's on board. We're going to lie in with way to the mosaic. That's where the Howling Blade's known to unwind before matches. When he appears, issue your challenge and do whatever it takes to get him to accept it. Don't worry, if Calyx has taught me anything, I'm extremely good at pissing people off. I'll stay here and look after you, Trope. Best of luck to you. Hey, I managed to piss off a guy who's clearly tries to have no emotions whatsoever. That's gotta be something, right? I'll be praying for your success. Honey's raring to go. Give the word and we'll set our little scheme in motion. Ah, there you are. Now that all the performers in place, it's time to steal the audiences. I mean, begin our broadcast. Hello, my obedient little bees. It's me, Honeybee Lovely, on a special edition of That'll Sting. Today, we have a pair of two very distinguished guests. The very fierce Black Cat and unstoppable upstart Coda. And goodness, we have a surprise for Coda's next opponent, the valiant Howling Blade. Huh? What's this about now? Coda wants to say something to you. Alright, time to put on a good face and go. The loser of our match is to retire. You've taken me aback, I must say. The notion that I'd lose is laughable. But even if I should, I have no intention of retiring. Is the whimpering wolf afraid of losing? You're naive if you think I'll play into your hands. That's weak for a champion if you ask me. I bet he's afraid. He clearly has no confidence. We're putting on a show, so we have to have some... So I'm gonna have to stoop to a level I normally wouldn't. You're the champion, so act like one. Accept the bloody challenge. So this was their plan. At this rate, my reputation will be in tatters. Fighting is everything to me. If you're demanding I wager my purpose in life, it's only fair you do the same. So tell me, what gives your life meaning? Alright then. Exploring new lands. I see. Having come from beyond the barrier, you know a world without boundaries, enjoying discovery. Something I struggle to imagine. In that case, if that's what gives your life meaning, then that is what you should give up if you lose. We shall, in that case, we do have a wager. Much as I hate to say it, he has a very good point. Just having the loser retire when I just first arrived here is basically, he gives up everything and I give up just a side gig at most. So it's reasonable that he pushed really hard for something bigger. Hear that, viewers? A hotly anticipated clash. The two rivals are wagering their very purpose. It's not a match you can afford to miss. Well, we managed to pull it off, and no small thanks to the nearby customers. Did we do well, Miss Honey? Oh, she asked them to help. Oh, yes, you did extremely well. Thank you all for your help. Wow, she really is pretty... I must say, she's got a lot more guile than I was expecting. Oh, so that's how it is. You really are something else. Well, the rest is up to you. For everyone's sake, and Brute's memory, see to it you send Howling Blade into retirement. Right, all that's left is to win. Come, let's head to the green room. I suppose settling down in Solution 9 isn't the worst thing in the world if it ends up... but... not working out. But yeah, I have to admit he's pretty smart. For some reason, a lot of bets are basically all, someone will storm into town saying, okay, the loser leaves town forever. I'm like, you just got here a day, and yet, so you're basically saying that I have everything to lose. I have nothing to gain and everything to lose. So he tried to make sure we both have everything to lose out of the deal. It's not much, but I really do think it adds a bit more when the stakes actually relevant for both. Then again, it also works if they initially reject it, but then the person twists the knife, so to speak, by putting a... Let's see here. Let's see here. Remember My Little Pony? One of the villains ended up coming for a while and demanded the main character challenge them where the loser leaves town forever. So of course the main character's all, no, I have nothing to gain even if I won. And of course the villain does force their hand by torturing one of their someone important to them until it happens, but yeah, that was a surprisingly good way of handling it. This is it, Coda. Cruiserweight title match. Let's seize victory and continue the mission. The Lone Wolf. She will formally introduce the challenge. The Howling Blade is a worthy champion, but again, you've cut through the competition. I'm confident you'll do the same this time. Alright, let's have his formal introduction. What soul does he use? Right, let's take a closer look at your opponent, officially this time. The Lone Wolf of the Arcadion, the Howling Blade. Fenrir, I'd assume he uses. Before becoming a fighter, he was a hunter known for unparalleled skill with the blade. Word ultimately reached the president, who recruited him for the Ascension Arcadia. Owing to his good, clean looks, he was immediately embraced as a babyface fighter, and he dazzles the crowds with a fantastical ring and blade of pulsating light. With the soul of Fenrir, a legendary wolf, he's able to unleash slashes that are devastating as they are fast. You'll have to be on your toes at all times. Good thing I'm tank privilege here. Now march to the wolf's den, Coda, and show him your no mere prey. A cat becomes a dog. What an abomination. Cruiserweight, the 4th match. The 8th match overall. Now this one I believe I should have a relatively fast queue time for, simply because, it's where the weekly drops are going to be. Yeah, I expect this one to be fairly fast in comparison. If Eutrope could be here to watch, I'm sure she'd be cheering you on. Be sure to do it for her as well. I wasn't as big on Honeybee Lovely as everyone else, but I will say, after this little bit hasn't made her grow on me. I just hope we do see a bit more of the other ones, but sadly I'm not sure we'll see any more of Dancing Green or Sugar Raid, which is a shame. Still, once again, I've noticed that each and every one of them has had a unique boss theme instead of a generic one. Usually there's at least one filler fight that was generic. I guess you could say the first two here were arguably filler, but two of them are pretty important at the very least. I am highly amused that the first boss was a lot harder than the second and third in terms of how often I died. I don't think I died against the third one, though. I can definitely see why he's hard. Here we are. He definitely... I could see him being the hardest of the Savage fights, unless this one's even more rough, which is still possible, to be fair. There are some where the fourth one is significantly more difficult than the third, and the third is the gatekeeper of sorts to determine who's skilled enough to continue on.
With his fearless blade work and preternatural agility, he's the apex predator of the Cruiserweight division, the Howling Blade!
Fenrir is a robot?
Let's begin, shall we?
Can the challenger defeat the wolf in his own lair?
I wonder if you can keep up.
Some speed, it's as if there's a pack of him. A stylish evasion, well done.
Not too bad yet, but gotta be ready. Ah, there was no marker for that one. Interesting.
I do like toying with my prey.
I suppose that is very cat of him. Oops. Ow.
Can't we fend off a pack of wolves?
Wouldn't be the first time. Come on, I was away from that.
Fly true! The earth is mine to command. Not bad, not bad. But we've scarcely begun.
As soon as these bold stacks were off in equal shape.
Bear my biting wings!
Alright. Great Nebula active. Ravenous Saber.
Still you stand. How delightful!
Invigorating attacks all the Oops. I really should have gotten hit by that. Ah, his wool familiars are helping.
Fenrir's power can be wielded in surprising ways.
Where did that colossal thing come from? It put the Colossus to the sword. Must have heard.
Hungry for victory,
But they're
vigor
not
of
out
no
of the
battle,
fight yet.
demanding a pack of spirits to aid in combat. Wow. Of course I get a 4, why wouldn't I?
You're mine! Pack of wolves!
This is no good. Yeah, I'm really doing badly on my rotation right now. Oh, yeah, like I said, one major flaw I don't
Try
like about
this.
Gunbreaker. If you start drifting, it really starts getting uncomfortable. Oops.
The challenger's down! Is this the end? They're back on their feet! Let's see if they can stay standing!
Probably don't want to be in front of that one. Probably don't want to be in front of that. And I was anyway, because I am silly. The end. Cruising at the apex.
The match is decided!
Well, that's the ultimate sight.
Victory goes to the challenger!
Cruiserweight tier complete. The Reaper definitely gets it.
It's all over! Until next time.
Wish I get that one, but I can't give it all. You did it, really did it. You're amazing, you know that? You were simply too strong for me. I gave my word and I intend to keep it. I will, in fact, retire from fighting. With this, I've escaped imminent death, but I've also lost my purpose in life. Tell me, what am I to do myself now? Oh, I don't know. There's still battles you can fight, however. Help us oppose the president. The president sacrificed the lives of countless fighters for the sake of entertainment, and as good as killed my friend. He should be stopped, I know. But as I said before, we owe everything to him. That's why we continued willingly, even though it meant dying from our illness. Right, he was practically an orphan raised by the president, so he gets some very special. So it's hard. You fool, you can't tell me Brute Bomber went willingly to his death, and there are people who still care for you, even if you don't care for yourself. All this time, Mutro's been fighting alone to try and save you. What? She vanished without a word soon after we developed symptoms of a necrosis. I searched and searched, but could find no trace of her. I was more shocked than anyone when she suddenly showed up and challenged Coda. Seeing how strong she still was, I assumed her symptoms had abated, and she decided to resume fighting. Let me make it crystal clear. You've been using your debt to the president as an excuse to not face the bitter truth, and in doing so, you've lost sight of those dearest to you. Something also possible is this president might have intentionally tried to foster this thing by making everyone feel indebted to him, because feeling indebted to someone for raising them or giving birth to them is a debt that can never truly be repaid, and as such, it can be very good for abusive parents to control people with. It was in order to save you that Eutrope went after Coda for his soul. She thought it was the only way she could be with you, and who could see no life outside of Arcadion. I have no words. You're right about everything. The choices I've made have been out of fear that I could no longer be Howling Blade. That's why I did nothing to stop my friend, even though I knew he was going to his death. Forgive me, Hector. I should have tried to save you, like they did. Thank you for bringing me to my senses. The President has done enough harm. I will help you stop him. Would be interesting if he ends up the final boss of the raid. Then again, I guess it would be anticlimactic if it was a fight not fought directly. That's kind of the only real complaint I have about the Auspice storyline with the Stormblood. The 4 fights are genuinely a lot of fun. The problem is that the final battle there is done for you by the ones you saved rather than your character, so it felt like something was missing. It's heartening to count the Howling Blade himself as our ally. The Howling Blade's no more. From now on, I'm simply Retsara. Let's continue talking at my gym. Eutrope and Uni are here, and they'd be happy to see you. Understood. There's one matter I need to tend to, so I'll meet you there shortly. I also went for the exploration thing because I felt this bet will probably be more meaningful if I'm honest about something. Because I clearly don't intend to lose, but we have to put on a show, and part of that means genuinely putting all into it. If I put something I don't actually care about on the line, well, there's plenty of ways to tell when someone's lying. Plus, it's not like my reputation's unknown here anymore. They know who the Eorzean adventurer is now. I just got a bit lucky that they're, well, first of all, they hated Zorilja, who, yes, I'm gonna continue getting his name wrong, only on purpose this time. But because he was terrible to everyone every chance he could, and, they're too emotionally stunted to be upset that I killed their, Endless Fiend. Although they'll probably be a lot more forgiving since I got the original one back. But that hasn't happened yet in this timeline, don't forget. Every quest takes place during the patch or time frame in which it released, so lots of green still. Oh, he decided to bring the cats. Right, without Brute Bomber, no one can take care of them. Pets are forbidden where I live, so I was hoping you could look after these little ones. We'd be glad to. Nayuni has been wanting to adopt a cat for a while now. She must be upstairs with Eutrope. I'll go see her there. May I come too? Of course, you and Eutrope have a lot of catching up to do, I expect. How cute. Pretty sure I have at least most of you as minions, so I'm sure. We have a situation. The 2 are gone. Naomi wouldn't take Eutrope outside in her current state, and her terminal was left on the bed, which means something happened to them. I don't think Midam is the president, but the fact we haven't seen him is quite interesting. I knew he'd do... so I was right. He did take them. Coda, the unenhanced warrior. For her contributions to the excitement provided by Ascension Arcadia, you have my utmost esteem. That voice, it's the president. However, I cannot suffer any more rewrites to my script. And so to safeguard, I've taken these Eutrope and Nauni into my care. After some coaxing, Medem divulged to me that you wish to cure psychonecrosis. The president could still be Metem, and we don't know. I don't think that's the case, but it's not impossible. We can't write off anything so far. And so it just happens. I know we can find the stimulant you seek. The drop of life, it is called. What do you want from us? 2 things. Coda must continue fighting, and you must never again meddle with my script. Nothing needs to change otherwise. If you become Grand Champion, our sole repository is your disposal, and even disclose location of the drop of life. That is all. I look forward to seeing your exploits at the pinnacle, the heavyweight division. So the president was one step ahead of us, one wrong move, and those 2 will come to harm. And he knows the present, so he knows that he's capable of that. It seems we have no choice but to place our hopes in Coda, then. I won't let you down. I've come too far for her to quit now. But this is obviously... you know, somehow he reminds me of the... leader of the plays from Arknights, in a way. Thank you. As your second, I'll continue to do my best to support you. As will I. I won't turn a blind eye to the President's depraved actions any longer. Never again will I let anyone be taken from me. Yeah, Rutrope would... I'm guessing he waited until now to take Utrope because he knew her condition was so high she wouldn't be able to... is in such condition that she wouldn't be capable of fighting back anymore. In fact, that's the entire reason she had to stay behind here, simply because she wasn't in any fighting condition any longer. But the good news is we did at least replenish her allies, with Retsara on our side. To think the President would stoop so low, convulsing as she is, and now a helpless child, we must do all in our power to get them back. And when we have, we must stop him once and for all. Deep down, I know that's also what Hector would have wanted. Yeah, these quests generally make an effort to end in the same spot you go each time, usually only ending somewhere else when they're done completely. I'm guessing so that if you take an extended break, you know you can easily come back to them. It's something a lot of RPGs in general have been trying to make it easier for people to get back if they happen to take a break. Because I played old RPGs now, both Western and Japanese, but I guess JRPGs would be better examples to use with anyone watching this. Like, if you play Shin Megami Tensei 1 and put it down for like a month or something, you might as well restart, because there's no way you're going to figure out where you were or before, or what you've done, especially if it was mid-dungeon. Well, I guess it might be easier mid-dungeon, but there's a lot of places, as in the overworld, where you have to go one way. Oh, you can't go that way yet, but it tries to stop you with tougher enemies. But of course, it's SMT1. It's very easy to cheese enemies that are meant to be way out of your league. It's actually a game I've wondered if I should stream it just to show it off. Most people haven't played it. I don't believe it. I think it only ever got an official English release on Nokia phones or something like that. But it's on devices you can't get anymore, so that's kind of annoying. Yana. Sorry, I'll be fine. As long as we do what the President says, no harm should come. Now, ahead of your campaign and become the grand champion, I want you to prepare best you can in your own way. Whether you train to hone your skills to recover your rest to recover your strength, see to it you're ready for the next fight. I'm truly sorry to place this on your shoulders, but the only one we can depend on. Please come and find me here when the heavyweight matches are ready to begin. Yeah, I need to clean these out later. I also have a lot of crafting to do. Yeah, might as well. You know what? I'll go ahead and finish this quest off to finish off the night. That way I can also count the PeluPelu quest as done. Maybe next time I can also open the other one, whatever that is. I don't know where or what it is. But we still do, in fact, have to do the 24-player raid. The blue. I appreciate how generous you are with your time, Code. I really do. Our ghost should be here any moment. Well, to be fair, it's a lot easy when time freezes until I pick it up. Let me grab a sip of my drink. Oh, hey. It's our buddy from the main story. Liplu, Coda, it's been a while. Well, not that long, Mablu. We did meet at the palace, of course. It's good to see you. Welcome to Raleigh Travel Agency's Cosmuca branch. That's right, today's guest is none other than my dear friend Mablu. I'm sure you've noticed, but she's had a hand in practically every aspect of the enterprise. From procuring supplies, to facilitating crucial communications, to relaying news from the trading posts across Tyrol, she's been a huge help. And let's not forget that Mablu introduced me to you. The travel agency wouldn't be the institution it is today without your tireless efforts. You both have my eternal gratitude. I'm just as grateful. After all, I've gained my fair share of money as Pel as well. Still, I can't hold a candle to you, Liplu. Forging ties with the community and securing endorsement from the wings of reflection. As a fellow entrepreneur in pursuit of a shared goal, I shall have to redouble my efforts. I never told you this, but after Mablu first committed to becoming a peddler, she came to an alpaca wool bedding emporium I was operating at the time and put to me a business proposal. Due to recent events, Tyrol's known much hardship, both great and small, and she wondered if perhaps we, through our mercantile pursuits, might do something to hasten the nation's recovery. From the terrible storm that plagued bridges and rendered the flight of wingless impassable, to the sudden death of Gulol Jaja, we've had much cause to grieve, but it is in our way to spread happiness through trade, and I believe we could make a difference, as only we, Pelu, could. When you and your comrades returned in triumph, there were festivities during which I spoke with many Tyroli. I sensed the people's growing desire to learn and their neighbors to share their own culture in turn. That's why I told Lipelu I saw an opportunity ripe for the taking. And so I decided to establish the Tyroli Travel Agency. Mlabu would keep in touch as she peddled her wares on the road, supporting us with her observations and insights. We are business partners in the revitalization initiative, so to speak. The more we expanded our operations, the more people and communities we could bring visitors and their money. With everyone's help, we can enrich many lives, but this is only the beginning. Through trade, we'll continue to bring Tyroli together and make them ample cause to smile. After all, that's what we Pelu do, now and always. You're right about that. I hear my inner abacus clacking away. It's proud we can hold true to our traditions, and just as convinced that I am that all of our dreams will come true. I hope you both will keep the agency in mind whenever you might be. Do be sure to send plenty of customers our way. Yeah, the story's been fine. Not amazing or anything, but it's about what you'd expect. And admittedly, a big part about it is I do like it just because the PeluPelu are from Final Fantasy X, and I can't believe I forgot about them. But yeah, the moment they built this thing, I was, oh wait a minute, I remember this inn. Yeah, like I said, there's nothing major about this one, it's just a capstone, really. So, might as well finish it off. Where would I be without you, Koda? You've contributed so much and aided us in assembling an amazing group of collaborators. The Hanu Hanu are a joy to work with. Moblins are thrilled to have a new audience for their crafts, not to mention the alpaca porters and punity hands were pleased with extra Pel in their pockets. As I keep saying, we wouldn't have been able to forge those ties if it weren't for your help. I'm sure you're tired of me singing your praises, but we do owe it all to you. Thanks for sticking with me as I've taken these real steps towards my dream. I wonder where the next steps will lead. Homeward to Urkapaka? Or perhaps should I set my sights on Zoctoral? Who knows, one day the Trolley Travel Agency may even have an Alexandrian branch. After all, the path only extends as far as you're willing to walk, and my legs have plenty of life left in them. One thing I do like about these reputation quests are largely because they have excellent bloods. Receive experience points upon bonus. Unfortunately, everything's capped, so... Oh, wider selection of wares. Might as well see what's available. Sadly, I don't need to do any of these anymore. Back during the previous expansions, I do the combat reputation dailies for the experience bonus, as well as a PvP round, and that would usually be about a level right there, even if you... About right then and there. Maybe a leveling roulette for a nice boost as well, but... Everything's 100 except for Blue Mage, which Blue Mage doesn't use these regular methods, so... Alright, let's go with a plume exchange. Anything good here? Oh. Maybe I'll have to consider that one. Framer's kit. That's already got that one. Already got that one. These are materia. I could probably sell those for profit, but it would be a lot better to do so at the start of the next raid tier. Then again, the absolute best time is to sell them at the start of an expansion, because that's when people are going to be a lot more willing to shell out. You can genuinely make a lot of money with it, that's for sure. In fact, it's how I was able to buy the 6 million gil motorcycle mount from Solution 9 and then basically get it all back shortly after. There's also a lot of you know how to craft stuff that's in demand regularly, but that's going to require someone who's much more knowledgeable at crafting than I am. I've started doing crafting quests. I must say they are quite fun. Like, I've been doing the where are they? Custom deliveries, yeah, as you can see, I've been slowly working through all of these. I think Margaret's the only one I haven't unlocked, and I'll do hers once they finish, but otherwise, yeah, that's about it. Alright, I guess that's going to be all for tonight. Huh, only 2.5 hours. Well, this is the tiers usually get you to the good stuff right away, and that is quite nice about this one. That said, I imagine the 24-player raid one's going to be a bit more in-depth, especially since there's a lot more around it. Plus, I'm sure plenty will be happy to see Bakul, Jaja again, the Vegeta of the expansion. Yeah, he actually had a nice arc to him. Going from an asshole that considers himself better to although I guess, like Vegeta, he does have a bit of, was forgiven surprisingly quickly, given all he's been doing. Although, granted, he also didn't end up hooking up with, the girlfriend of the person he killed. That would have been very awkward. I do know some stuff like DBZ Kakarot tried to justify it a bit better by having Yamcha more of a sleaze, but, first of all, I don't think they needed to screw with, first of all, ruining Yamcha's character probably wasn't a good idea in the first place, but also, it's going to be awkward no matter what, even if he was the biggest jerk ever. Ah, well. I guess that's going to be it for tonight. Next time, we're going to be with the 24-player raid, and after that, I'll think about it. Might go for another game, might waste some time with the Occult Crescent. We'll have to find out. I mean, I'm gonna have to grind the relics eventually. Alright, well, until next time, thank you for watching, hope you had a good time, and I'll see you later.